It's me, Anders Morgenthaler. Welcome to a new episode of Reconstructing the World, where we take a look at a home space. This is great. I'm loving this. I feel like a Bond villain. This is amazing. It looks completely new. This is not recycled material, right? This is all new. This is where we make your money.
This is where we make our money. No, this is actually our first project where everything is actually recycled material. Everything you see, except the radiator. And actually also the steel here is not recycled. Okay. But everything else,
the floor?
The floors.
What, did this look brand new? How can you recycle this? This is super beautiful. This is really expensive floor. It's Denison floor, right?
Yes, exactly. See, the thing is, I mean, this is actually a pretty old house. I mean, not old, but this for when we talk about circular buildings, then this is a quite old building. It's 7-8 years old. Yeah. So it was one of our first projects that we did. It's 20 row houses. Yeah. And they are 3 floors high, and they're very different in the sense that they're actually 18 meters deep.
So they're very long.
If you can just look through there, it's super long. So, and that's very difficult to do with daylight.
Very Bond-like.
Yeah, very Bond-like.
I need to have some sort of. This is one is taken, right? The Bond thing. This one, if I had a cat, but I need to know.
If you can bleed out of the eye, then you have something.
Great.
That's good.
But what if I had? What if I had like one leg, or like a bigger, a villain? So this row, a little bit difficult, but I can push it. I can pull it.
You're good at yoga. I know.
Okay. The floor is what?
So the thing is that we wanted to see how many materials we could harvest and find waste streams where we could convert it to new types of products. And these 7-8 years ago, when we did this project, it was very, very new. I mean, there was many things that was hadn't been done before, or the idea of actually building with waste wood this way was very new. So we were very lucky with some of the materials that, the higher quality material you have, the bigger bulk of waste you also have.
Because this cutoff doesn't work, it's second sort, what's called second break.
And that's exactly what we have here in this building. We have waste wood floor, facades. You can see that when we go in there. Yeah. And we also have the walls that you see there and the whole top floor. It's all waste wood. And there is different types of waste wood here. We have offcuts, as you're saying, you can see that they're actually pretty short. So, I mean, when you buy the most expensive floor, it goes from here to here. The most expensive floor in the world, then you don't want these short pieces. Then you want the whole...
you want to be timber showing off.
Yes.
Showing off with long boards.
And then the other thing that we learned is that when you store a lot of wood, you pin it up to kind of get air around it. Yeah. But because the temperatures, because of climate change, is getting higher, then fungus as a problem in wood is increasing. And there's something called, I don't know what that is in English, sorry, split. So it gets these kind of blue patterns in the core wood. Yeah. And it's not dangerous, it's not making the wood porous, but it doesn't look good. So therefore there was a lot of waste wood, and we actually got that. And
is it this?
No, it's actually, it's hopefully not here. It's in these ones. So now it's a bit dark, but we sanded them down and then we treated them with white pigment oil, which meant that you hardly could see that there was this blue or dark note in it, which was actually.
But the blue might have been beautiful, right?
When we got the wood, it was easy to see that it looked like kind of something was wrong with the wood. So we couldn't use it directly, and also just a sense of drying it out. So that's what we did here. And then for the facades.
Let's go see the facade out here.
Let's go see the facade.
This is okay. So if you want to have a show-off home, right? Yeah. Because you would like to have that. You have a shitty home, actually. But you said it yourself. You said it yourself.
Yeah, it's
really. But this is what Anders dreamt of living in himself. this. Come look at this. This is what you dreamt about, right?
Probably
This is the shit.
This is the really, really nice space, right?
Let's look at what you did with the facade, because it's actually amazing.
Yeah, I think, I mean, just to say, this is it's really rare that you, in a kind of a new building, have a 6 meter and 60 centimeters high space.
Yeah.
And the reason why we did that was, as I said, the building is 18 meters deep.
Yeah.
So we really needed to get as much light in as possible, and now it's a super great day, so almost
still.
no light. Yeah. But the reason why we actually walked out here was, I don't know, our fantastic cameraman Tiff, cinematographer. Oh my God, that's why he won't say hi to me anymore.
Exactly.
Camera guy. What is it called? Not cameraman.
I love that you call him camera guy. It's called a cinematographer.
Cinematographer.
Yeah.
That's why he's always so mad at me. Come on.
Okay.
I can't
Quickly.
concentrate because Tiff, I mean, I'm really sorry. Cinematographer. Cinematographer.
Yeah.
Cinematographer, you can maybe get the kind of the underside of the outhang from the top floor.
Oh yeah.
That is waste wood as well. That's been painted and treated, and you can also see it on the side there. So that's actually the same material as we're standing on here. It's actually floor Douglas fir or Douglas pine wood that has been used there. So it's 25 millimeters thick, massive wood.
Okay.
And so what we learned here, which is really fantastic, is that when you do these upcycled products, you often go up in quality, and you would never in a project like this have,
No, you would have like this, like after 8 years it goes like this, it's spinning all over the place.
Yeah. And that's why when you ask me if this is new, and there's been tenants here, I don't know how many, maybe just one, maybe two the past 8 years, but it looks brand new.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
And
but what you did with the facade is that normally in these kind of show-off situations, people would do aluminum, steel, new glass, bottom to top, maybe one, divided into 4 or something.
Yes.
You did something completely different, right?
Yes, we wanted to see if it was possible to do an upcycle window, and we had done for an exhibition just kind of a fun idea where we took 2 old thermal windows and put them next to each other. And it was just taking out with frame and everything and just screwing them together.
Yeah.
And it looked
like this one actually.
It looked beautiful, but they didn't work. And then we thought, what if we actually did kind of a real new frame where everything would be airtight, and we would put old thermal windows into this new frame, and you would then have 2 thermal windows, which would mean from having 3 layers as the newest energy window, which is what we have in Denmark now, to actually have 4 layers.
Yeah. And so super sustainable in terms of...
So yes, and then also have an airtight space in between.
Yeah.
And then we could see in the calculations that it actually worked. And so we started to do this, and some of these Windows partitions, we produced them ourselves together with Krone, which is a Windows manufacturer here in Denmark. But we had to deliver the waste windows. And for some of these, we have new glass on the inside, and then only 2-layer glass, and then we have waste glass on the outside. Yeah. And some places it's actually possible to have two waste windows in front of each other to make a total recycle window.
So most of these row houses have these huge windows divided. Are they the same division, or is it off? Is every?
There's I can't remember. There's 2 or 3 deliveries. Yeah. So they changes a little bit because the windows that we got, the glass was we couldn't change the sizes. No. So here we developed an AI and you love AI.
I love AI.
Yes, and this was some really early AI where we could tap in the sizes of windows.
A person. person called AI.
Yeah, he was from Japan.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know actually if that was borderline racial. Was that?
What is our?
It's a wordplay on Asian names, right? So
he's a brilliant guy.
He's a brilliant guy. That's great. Great.
Anyways, so what it could do is to take these different sizes and create a pattern that would give us the highest recycle design. Yeah. And then what you can see is that the small windows in the side, so every time you have kind of a horizontal band, then you have a narrow window. Yeah. And the narrow window is especially over there in the corner. Yeah. That's a new window because that gives us the freedom to then say it doesn't matter how wide this is. Yeah. Because then you can just adjust the small one.
So the windows that are new are mainly small windows. And so the biggest resources and therefore the biggest recycle and therefore the biggest LTA improvement is the large spaces, right?
Yeah. And in some of them also, just to be honest, in the beginning for these first typologies, we were reluctant or a little bit unsecure if it performed good enough. Yeah. So we actually had one layer that was new and one layer that was recycled. Yeah. And then we improved that. So the amount of recycled windows went up.
Okay, great.
So, and another important thing is that we actually have a double frame here.
And you did tons of patterns, right?
Yes.
Tons of different ways of using it.
Yeah, and then trying to optimize it depending on where we got the windows from. So
that's an important thing. Yeah. Because people are saying, okay, where do you get recycled windows and why are they recycled in the first place? Yeah. It's because in the industry,
you get. Like, unfortunately, even houses like some of these over here that are maybe 10, 15 years old, then for some reason there's a defect in the frame and then they have to take them out. Yeah. Or you have, it's the most common thing that every time we have a new energy code, then it's funny enough made by the window manufacturers. So you have to change for a new window. And it's the easiest way to upgrade your apartment. Even though you have a really old house, you change the windows within 20 years.
So let's say there's no problem getting windows, right?
It's super easy. We're getting called all the time. Yeah. Another great thing I just want to say, when you make such a big window, normally you would have to put so much steel in because the wind pressure is too high. Yeah. Because of these framing that fitted the small windows, it's so strong and stable, so there's no steel here. Normally you would have an I-beam like steel here, you would have a horizontal, but here we solved it only with wood, and that's very uncommon. That's why the CO2 impact on this is insanely low compared to what you would do normally. It would be an aluminum or steel casing that would create this.
And that's exactly why we can move on, because the numbers vary, but it's between 60 and 70%.
60 to 70% recycling material. Like if you look at the whole, there's almost 4,000 square meters, and I think almost 70% of all our material is waste.
70%.
And then we have insulation and also installations and these that are not recycled.
Come down, and then we can take a look at some of the main body of what is recycled, and actually something that is super crazy, right?
Yeah. But now you're in the mood for asking me about something.
Yeah. And the thing I wanted to ask you is, we're going to take you through this because the main body and the main innovation you made here was the concrete.
Exactly.
But I need to, before we go into the concrete, what is this? Why? This is usually a very, very looser kind of material. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Most people are not.
Here.
Oh yeah, here you can see it very clearly. This is not a high grade. Yeah, my bad. If this was my villain cave, I wouldn't be my proudest moment showing this off.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is actually one of my proudest moments. Okay. I think. The thing is here, maybe you noticed one thing when you've been walking around.
Yeah, I did.
That there is no paint.
There's no paint.
And usually painting walls means that you also have fillers, you have all kinds of chemistry in that whole process, even though it's the thin layers. Yeah. And here the dogma is that there is no paint, there is no fillers, and we really tried to minimize materials where you could find chemistry in it.
Yeah, so
off-gassing, which means
to avoid
for the indoor environment.
To avoid petrochemical materials, right?
And of course, in these kind of blocks, there's also some chemistry in them and in kind of the grooves. But the point here is that we wanted to take as many materials out and make them as raw and clean as possible. And these walls is actually built because you could separate this apartment. Yeah. So they handle fire, and you can kind of use them super simple. So this was just, instead of just building it, and all these seams are usually not very beautiful put together, here it's made nicely.
No, but I was also kidding a little bit. I actually like that you work with patterns within a concrete world. Right, so this is actually, I can park my evil car here, right?
Yeah, and do you know how weird is it to do a super sustainable project and then you have to have a parking garage for a car, right? And actually the city mayor, when I proudly showed it to her, she was really yelling at me and like, why that fuck? Exactly. So she said, I mean, that is the most stupid thing you could ever put in a sustainable building, and we had to agree. And then I said, when you do a local plan from the municipality, you're not allowed to take these things out. So the municipality planned this and said there has to be a parking garage in the building. Yeah. Because you can say that her administration would not allow to do anything else. Exactly. So what we thought was, we have to trick this. So instead we put really nice heat in. We made it as a really nice room. And do you know what can happen here?
Yeah. The door can open.
The doors can open, but you can put our Upcycle window in.
Oh shit!
Yes.
It's like a life hack.
It's a life hack. If I can open it,
but
that's a life.
We can push it up.
Oh, you have to. This is embarrassing. I don't know how to open it.
No,
it's where is the switch? It's
alarm. Over here. We might edit this out. We might edit it. So okay.
I have to do something very stupid.
But the great thing is, you actually put heating in. The floors are not heated right, but you can then put in carpet.
I can't take it. I have to open it.
Yeah, I know, but you have to. Okay, but you can put in a window here.
Okay,
but let's look at the main thing about this building, where this is where we show what Anders, most sustainable architect in the world, is all about. Follow me here, because this is fucking amazing. Not all the shoes here, but. Come on here. Look at this thing. This is all fucking concrete. All the walls are concrete. Anders, this is supposed to be. This is
This is what we don't like, right?
Yeah.
And when we did this project these 7-8 years ago, then one thing we wanted to challenge was the concrete business.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to do it in a different way? Come on up. And
you did, right?
And the thing was that we found out at this point, we were very sure that if we could use all waste concrete, all the crushed old buildings, and use them as aggregate instead, then that would have an effect.
Let's go up and see it here, because I want to show how much concrete that's in this building. And so what you did was you tried to find a way where you could recycle concrete, right?
We wanted to make kind of a circular building site and harvest waste concrete from just over here.
Yeah. Oh, for the metro.
From the metro.
Yeah.
They were building a new metro and they were just throwing a lot of waste concrete out. And when we harvested that and crushed it here on site, and then we casted it here. And no one in the concrete industry wanted to do this. They said, it doesn't matter, it's not a good idea, it's not possible. And then we said, okay, we want to do it. So I had to kind of create my own concrete company to do this. And we had
You did your own. You had to do it yourself.
It was my own company with a super big concrete mixer and a team of like the master mixer in concrete, testing all of these things, and also getting the aggregate crushed and try to mix that in and make it to work. Yeah. So all of these walls, I'm actually unfortunately responsible for.
But that's But that's what makes you a genius. You're like a wizard.
Or stupid.
You're like an architect. You're like an architect wizard. Wow, Anders.
Yeah.
Now I know why you're calling this the summer house. It's like a house within the house, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. This is actually a tiny cottage.
Yeah. And
but back to this to the concrete.
Yeah, it's just to finish that. Yeah. So the concrete. I mean, what we saved was only 7 to 8% CO2 because we had to use cement, and because we had to live up to the standards in EU of how you mix it. You have to pour enough cement in it. And so...
Who made those rules?
Guess who?
Oh, I think I can do a qualified guess.
Yes.
The cement industry made the rules.
Of course, and they made it so that you have to put quite a lot of cement in. And the crazy thing was when we were doing the testing, and this one is a life hack for you guys, concrete mixers out there, was that when we crushed some of this concrete and when we did the test, then we couldn't understand why it was stronger than the amount of cement we were pouring in.
Okay.
And the reason was that there was unreacted cement in the old concrete that we crushed. So it's kind of like when you do cocoa milk and you pour it in, and it has these air pockets where there's cocoa in.
Did I hear you, as a grown man, nearly 50 years old, saying, when I do cocoa
milk?
Are you standing up in the middle of the night doing hot cocoa? I'm going to do hot cocoa. Do you put marshmallows in?
Every morning with my kids.
Yeah. I could do cocoa right now, actually. The weather's quite nice for it.
So we did the concrete.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
We learned that we don't want to cast new concrete again. Yeah. We need to harvest and direct recycle it. And we're going to show you that also in an episode. But here it was the 1,000 tons of recycled aggregate for the walls. Yeah. It's all the wood, also wood inside the walls. That's why we call it the summer house in here.
And normally you put aluminum studs in there or something like that.
Exactly, and rock wool. And then here it's everything's wood. And also outside, as you can see.
Wood is insulation.
Yeah.
Ah, great. First time we actually pull it off to tell about wood insulation.
Yeah.
Because it's a big fucking thing.
Yeah, it's going to be the biggest.
Yeah.
And then outside also the facade here is also the waste wood, and then the windows. And so that is kind of our main components for the project. And then of course you can say that insulation, hard insulation in the ground floor that is not recycled, insulation in the facade where it's because of fire legislation. We didn't have an alternative, so unfortunately that is our good friends.
Everywhere I turn on us, there's a fucking window.
Yeah, it's nice.
How did you pull it off? You are a wizard. Let's go down.
It's because it's also a very deep building.
Let's end.
But you have to show the children's house.
The children's house. Yeah, here you have one here. This is one house.
Now, welcome to the real estate agent.
And this is another one. There's a child who can live in here.
Okay, let's go then.
That's that.
That's quick.
Why did you want to show it? Just to show it was there?
Just to show that there's rooms
but
up here.
The whole thing is a show off for like a Bond villain. Bond villain don't have kids at home, man.
No, but then what is it then? Like
this could be my slave dungeons. You could have saved that. I could kidnap a president of Nicaragua in there, and that would be the thing.
And that would be cool.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Anders, 60 to 70% recycled material.
Yeah.
People could do this all over the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's tons of concrete that is just
tons of concrete, tons of wood. There's 400,000 tons of waste wood in Denmark. Yeah. There's 36,000 tons of waste glass every year. There's waste everywhere.
But this is not waste. This is beautiful.
Thanks, man.
So, follow us in upcoming episodes. We're going to talk a lot more about these recycled homes.
Yeah.
Because what you are an expert and why you are most sustainable architect in the world is that you are actually striving towards either not building new at all or recycle 100%. That is the goal, right?
That is the goal. And we're going to see some projects.
Yeah.
And just to say, it's amazing to see what has happened in 8 years. So we know that we start here with a building where it's a new building on a new site. And what we're looking at today is buildings that we are transforming with waste materials and wood. So, and keeping what we have. So don't build strategy, we still really believe in, and that's what's starting to happen. So we love to show these projects as well, Anders.
Great. You know, I was trying to wrap it up just 30 seconds ago while you start your one-man speech. I was trying to wrap this up with a high five. I was actually going like this to high five you, and then you went into nerd mode. Yeah. Good luck.